Hello and a warm welcome here from PÖFF TV, live from the 29th Black Nights Film Festival in your beloved city of Tallinn, Estonia. My name is Nikolaj Nikitin and I have the big honor to introduce you today's guest, the director of our neighboring Lithuania, Jurgis Matulevičius, who brings us the incredibly strong film China Sea, which is, and this is a really interesting fun fact, the first ever co-production between Lithuania and Taiwan, also supported by Poland and Czech friends. But first of all, welcome to us, Jurgis. You're back after having your brilliant debut, Isaac, with us. Welcome back to Tallinn.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here.
We all remember Isaac, of course, which was an amazing debut set in the past. And just like that, also your new project was written by your colleague Saule, who we also witnessed recently being very successful with her own film. So we just want to give her the praise. She did, dear audience, the incredible debut Toxic, which was very successful in Locarno, but we showed it also here. So tell us something about the script of China Sea and how did the script process started. Where did Saule and you get the inspiration from?
Yeah, so hi everybody. China Sea. Well, China Sea is a project and it started, I think, 4 years ago. I was introduced to a story of a Lithuanian kickboxing world champion who was a big star, and he was killed in 2015 by local mafia. So it started from him, and this film is not a biopic, but it's inspired by a real story and a real person. And but also it includes some other storylines, I started to develop them as a separate feature, but then I combined them together into a one film, which is called China Sea.
What is amazing and incredible about China Sea is the energy of the actors, all of them. They're all so perfect fitting the roles. Can you tell us a little bit about the casting process, especially Oswald's character Marius?
Yeah.
Where did you find him? I assume you knew him before.
Yeah.
And how did
so
it go?
Marius is a quite famous theater actor in Lithuania, and he's also starred in some Lithuanian films, but actually, the story is that first I casted another guy, but he was like too beautiful for the role because he looked like an Apollo, a god with his body built and so on. And then I thought about Marius, and what's special about Marius that he lived through this kind of years in Lithuania when our film is staged. It's 2015, and he was one of the guys from the neighborhood. He also did martial arts for 18 years. So that was, but also he's a beautiful human being, and I think that when you make a film about toxic masculinity, I needed a character who is an antagonist, but he has this human features, that you're starting to love him because he's so true and sincere about everything,
Wow, I mean, this is really very well done. I want to ask you about Sevilla because I live in Germany, and one of my favorite series is, of course, Babylon Berlin. I mean, she's a really big international star by now. Was it clear from the beginning that you wanted her for that role?
Yes, of course, because I worked with her on Isaac, and I needed a woman who's near her 40s, and I searched for some actresses, but I think I fell in love with her, like facial features and how she looks on camera from like from very beginning when I started my movie career. So I took her to Isaac. Now I took her here because
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, because she really gives a very special performance that's really blown me away. The cast is supported by an incredibly well done work by your director of photography, fantastic production design, and I felt it like this very thoughtful and clear color concept. Could you elaborate a little bit about the preparation on the visual side of the film?
Yes, I think that when I started to create this movie, I was inspired by Asian cinema a lot, like Burning, and, of course, Taiwanese directors. And the thing was that first, Fallen Angels and so on. And at first I was like drawn to this neon lighting, and I thought like, let's do it in that, because like it has a theme of Asia, and maybe it's gonna look great. But then we understood that it's still Eastern Europe, and we actually need to make it as realistic as it could be. So the thing is that the main space where the film takes place is a Chinese restaurant, and actually is a real restaurant. And we dressed it a bit, but when I walked into that restaurant, I was like, I knew that I'm gonna film there because it was so authentic, where people like just came with some things from their culture and just put it into a location which is in Eastern Europe, and they did a beautiful set dress, and then also, the thing is that I don't know, my movies, they don't have like, let's say, the precise timeline. It could happen like it could happen like 10 years ago or now, and I usually don't want to say like that this is precise city or something, because I shot in Taiwan, I shot in Poland, and it's all mixed up, but it's like a country in Eastern Europe, I think, and But also the challenge with this film, because I really wanted to make like completely different film from Isaac. I didn't want to have this tracking one shots. I wanted to try something else, and that's why I chose like a different DOP. And it was interesting to work with him because he's like I don't know, a master of handheld camera. So I don't know, kind of. It went really well, I would say.
No, that really shows, and I'm very happy that those of you who saw Isaac, you can expect something completely different, and it's great that you mentioned
a lot of color.
Yes, a lot of color,
I would say.
It's great that you mentioned Wong Kar-wai, who is, I think, for many of us, one of the most outstanding visual directors. China Sea. I was thinking a lot about the title. It's a very gripping title. It's a title that really sticks. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the meaning of the title?
Of course. So I was expecting this question, of course. So China Sea, it's the thing is that China Sea is a name of a restaurant, but China Sea is also a geographical region, a historic geographical region, which for Taiwanese people and for people Republic of China means the same, So, so that was the question, to name the film like this, it was, and also. Why the restaurant is named like that, because it's a question of authenticity and marketability, because Baltic countries doesn't have so many immigrants, right? And the Asian diaspora, like in Lithuania, is very small. So you need, something catchy to name your restaurant for the people to come. And of course, when we talk about Lithuania, so the racism is still there. So and people, Asian food for them is like Chinese food. So I think that's the one of the main characters Yulong names this restaurant like this because he wants like more clientele and something like that. But also I think he's actually really he's sad of making this choice because he's his country's lover, but he still needs to be like pretend that he's someone else, and that's you will see his storyline in the movie. So yeah.
Yes, thank you, Achu Jurgis, for your incredible film, China Sea. I'm very happy we can present the world premiere here at PÖFF in the Critics Picks competition. So, dear audience, please try to get a ticket for the premiere. If it should happen to be sold out, like with many of our titles, don't forget there will be repetition screenings. And Achu again, Jurgis, I'm looking forward to welcome you and your team because you brought a lot of friends who worked with you at the premiere. See you soon in the cinema.
Thank you very much.